Cool. We are officially back on live, ladies and gentlemen. And to me, it just feels like that it's been such a long time, but it's only been about some days here. But it's always a pleasure to be able to come back on here and really be able to connect with each and every single one of you. And I don't take this for granted whatsoever. Once again, let's go ahead and jump into this bad boy. Once again, to another installment here of Transformation Greatness, along with the Small Business Network podcast. I am your host here, Shawn A. White, and on this segment, I came out with a topic which I believe is very relevant, and also too, because we're in the holiday season, and we're spending time with loved ones, we are getting prepared for Christmas. If you were like me, I definitely spent time as far as with my family, and that in itself was an absolute blessing. And we're going to do that again for Christmas. But I just believe during this holiday season, speakers speak in the power of awareness. And I believe that's huge. And I want us to dive into that tonight because during the holiday season, a lot of us, we tend to kind of put our foot off of the gas, so to speak. But I just believe during this time, in order for 2024 to really gear up to be that year that you're banking on, now is definitely the time to go full throttle because you want that momentum to continue rather than just being like so many others that rather wait until January 1st, right? And then want to start your resolutions or whatever that may look like. We don't want to do that here. We don't do that here at Transformation Greatness. We don't do that for the Small Business Network audience. We don't do that, right? We get started, yesterday. So we're going to continue on with that theme. So for all those that's in attendance, do me a favor, if you will. If you can just put in live, put in hashtag live, guys. If you can let me know where you're tuning in from, I would gladly appreciate that. And for all those that maybe catch this on a replay because you got other commitments, you got other things going, by all means, put in hashtag replay. And also for everyone, if you feel that you're getting any value from this whatsoever, by all means, please feel free to let me know. Feedback is always a plus. So why I came up with Speakers Speak. This is going to be for everybody, right? Especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an influencer, a thought leader, whatever have you. It is my firm belief that if you have an inkling of any kind of talent, if you have any kind of gifts or abilities whatsoever, your best bet is now as far as to speak. I just truly believe that we're in a time with social media, with technology being the way that it is that now your voice can be heard from so many different platforms, right? And I just believe that, and this is the reason why I also tied the second portion of Power of Awareness, is because of the fact that when you understand who you are as an individual, when you understand your gifts, when you understand your purpose, right, mixed with passion, and we're going to jump into that a little bit later on as well, but when you understand those two, you have a tendency really at any given chance that you get to let others know of who you are and what you do. It's interesting, when I were given this gift of being a speaker, I had no idea the impact that my voice, the language in which I'm speaking in, the tonality, the information in which that I'm gathering, that I'm conveying out to others would be of a lot of benefit. And that was very surprising to me because of the fact that with all the success that I had back in sales, in customer service and everything else, I was also wrestling with the notion that it was best to be seen and not heard. So you see, growing up, I had like an inferiority complex. Plus also every time that I spoke, it seemed like people were always being in disagreement with me. So for a long time, I've learned just to be silent, right? And it's best to be seen and not heard. Isn't that interesting? When I became an entrepreneur, it was reverse, because now the only way that you're able to get exposure and the only way for people to know of who you are and what exactly that you do is that I had to talk. But see, also too, and this is something in which that I had to learn as well, and I'm pretty sure many people have been through this stage or even going through this stage as of right now. What happens is that when I came to that realization, I was like, okay, cool. Basically, I used to try to sell everybody, right? So, okay, cool. So I moved from the stage of not being silent no more and learning how to speak up. Okay, cool. So now I'm like, everybody know what I got and let them know, like, I got 4 slots left and it's only $29.99. And listen, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then I discovered something. I discovered this fact. No one likes to be sold. So I said, no one likes to be sold. Interesting. And I had to think about that even more, because the times that I go into the stores, right, and I'm looking for something, right, I don't want somebody that's constantly down my throat, don't know me for a can of paint, but trying to sell me something and don't know me for anything, and they just hopping. I'm like, look, I'm just checking. How many of y'all can agree with this statement? I'm just looking. Why I share you that story with you all is because as a speaker, as someone that's an entrepreneur, I realize the value of visibility. I realize the importance through the power of awareness, because I understand of who I am as an individual, that I have something to offer and I have something to give. But I also understood too, guys, is that building relationships is so important. Getting to know the other individual is very important, because back the way I was before, I wasn't concerned about the other individual. I was just more concerned about them buying something from me. And then what happened is that I actually repelled them, right? Versus pushing them, or they becoming more attracted about who I am and what I'm about and the value and the service that I bring to the community. So, as a speaker, as using this platform, and hello, Dr. James, hello, Tammy Morrison, welcome. And so as being a speaker now, especially using the power of social media, because we're on Facebook, I have learned that through the power of doing live streams, through the power of using podcasts as an anchor, as a platform, as a vehicle, now what happens is that people start to get to know, like, and trust me. And guess what? Because I was passionate in a particular subject, I was passionate in a particular field, and I put in hours, right, of doing that. Now, because of using the power of this vehicle, right, called social media, people start to now look at me as an expert, or in another term, a subject matter expert. So, interesting. I started to become a subject matter expert, and now I start to gain credibility. I'm pausing for a reason, because I believe there are some of you that may believe if I just post something, right, or if I just go out into the marketplace and I'm like, hey, I got a great product, right, it's $54.99 and it comes with all the bells and whistles and you should get it now, buying hot, that people are going to flock all over to you. And that's just not how it works. Very, very rare. Unless you already built up the credibility and you're already a household name and everybody knows you, that's a different story. But most of us, when you're starting out, especially as a small business entrepreneur, we are all working to get to that point. So what can you do then? That's probably the question some of you guys are asking. You're probably saying, well, Shawn, that's great. That's amazing. Thank you for stating the obvious, right? But what can I do? I'm glad you asked. For starters, using this platform here, letting people know of what you're currently doing. Letting individuals know based upon your progress on where you're currently at. I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact of countless hours of sacrifice, commitment, learning, personal development, and growth, I have some fantastic news for you. On February 24th of 2024 in Columbia, South Carolina, yours truly will be one of the guest speakers on Powerful on Purpose Summit, which is hosted by Dr. Tabitha Russell. Or, how about this? Because of the fact of my constant networking and communication, and because of my visibility, and because of my commitment to excellence, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, right here in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, will be the Social Change Movement hosted by the National Association of Black Defenders Incorporated. For that 3-day event, you will be inspired, you'll be motivated, you'll be educated by some of the most influential people in the country, as they will be coming on board and they'll be sharing their experiences in terms of social change, economics, education, etc., etc. It will be a family event. It will be a 3-day event. And for more information, please feel free to reach out to me. I gave you a couple examples because what I did is that I let the listener audience know the progression in which that I am about, the direction in which that I'm going. So as a speaker, as a businessman or woman, whether you've been in this game for 25 years or you just starting today, using a platform as this, as being a speaker, because we are all speakers, whether you're an expert speaker or whether you're just starting out, doesn't matter. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a speaker of some form of fashion. Now, I hear some people say this, well, Shawn, I don't know about that, right? Because I'm an introvert, right? I'm an introvert. I'm not comfortable as far as speaking in front of people. Okay, I get that. You're speaking to an introvert. One of the things in which that I had to learn about being an introvert, guys, is that I had to be able to do the uncomfortable things long enough in order to become comfortable. Because here's what I learned with the power of awareness. When you understand and when you start to understand of who you are as an individual and your place in society, your place in the marketplace, yes, I said that purposefully, right? When you start to put the pieces together, it gives you, let me put it another way. Your imagination now, it truly gets to soar. You get to be creative. You get to play. You get to put certain things out there in the marketplace, right? See what resonates with your audience. See what doesn't work with your audience. Guess what? By the end of the day, it's all good because you're doing it in such a playful, creative manner, right? I'm doing this podcast right here. I don't know who this is going to resonate to. It may not resonate with none of you guys. Then again, it may resonate with 1,000 people. The point is this. I'm doing it because I'm putting it out there because I'm willing to be creative and playful in the process because I understand who I am as an individual. I understand who I am as a businessman. You get me? I understand who I am as a TV radio personality, someone that's doing a live stream, right? And with the ultimate goal is to provide, is to provide value and a level of service. Now, I spoke to you all earlier about passion and purposeful. And this is something in which that I've learned the beginning of this week, which is very powerful. So I want you to listen up. I'm going to explain to you on what purposeful is, and I'm going to understand, and I'm going to break down to you what passion is, in my estimation. Hey, what's going on, twin? King Dave, welcome, welcome. Blessings, blessings, King. Purposeful is that thing that drives you. It is something that it really, you're like locked in, right? For some people, it may be to make $10 million, right? In a year or in a couple of years. For some, it may be as far as to have financial freedom. For some, it may be to spend more time with the family. For some people, it may be to own a radio station. Whatever that looks like, whatever's that thing that you are really obsessed with, right? And everybody's is different. Everybody is a different person, but that's locked in. That to me is my definition of purposeful, right? Now, passion. Passion is that drive. It is that thing that every single time you think about it, you talk about it. I mean, you breathe it, you eat it. You can't sleep without thinking about it. It wakes you up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it forces you to either write that down or, work on that thing. The passion, ladies and gentlemen, will keep the fire going. And will keep it going. Every single time that you talk about it, right? It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. It is that thing that will literally raise up your vibration each and every single time. Why? Because that passion is going to keep you in the game when the days is going to come where you're going to like, you know what? I ain't feeling this. I don't feel like even getting up. I don't feel like even making that phone call. I don't feel like speaking to that person. That passion is going to get you going. It's going to cause you to be relentless. Is this making sense to anybody? Come on, guys. Talk to me now. Don't get quiet. Talk to me. Is this making sense? Yes or no? I need to know. Is this making sense? So now, what about now if we combine the two? What about if we combine passion mixed with purposeful? What do you get? You get a bad boy. You get a bad girl. And that is a person that is very, very dangerous. And why I say that? Because they're on a mission to shake up the world. How many people you know that intentionally their goal is to leave a person better off than where they first left them? How many people you know that when they step into a room or they step into a meeting or they step in front of an organization, their ultimate goal is to make sure to make them 10 times better than when they first met them? How many people you know like that? Look at that. My case in point. I have a gentleman here that after I'm done speaking with you all, I have to connect with. Because the passion and the purposeful, this individual recognized that. And he's like, you know what? I need to connect with this brother because he is serious. He is about his business. He is committing. He is putting in the sacrifice. And guess what? He has a 9-to-5 job and he's still making things happen in spite of. And guess what? What I'm currently doing, I'm no different from anyone else. The only difference is that I made a committed decision. So, I see people are hopping on, and thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the comments as well on the mission. During this holiday season, as we in November come into December, remember when I mentioned to you the power of awareness? What does it look like for you? Do you feel just as strong as I do about your mission statement, about your vision statement, about your business, your brand, what you're currently doing, what you're currently providing as far as to your audience, to your organization, to your team? Do you feel that strong and knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you know what, you plan on closing out strong? Because 2024 is going to be that year. It's going to be a record-breaking year. It's going to be historic. And that you're going to be like a man or a woman possessed. and you will not settle for anything less. And if anyone doesn't have that same mission and vision, if they don't have that same kind of vibes, that you're just going to leave them to the wayside. So you mean to tell me when I said that only one person commented on that? Come on, guys. Oh, man. You know what? Let me see if I can do something here. Hey, for the person that answers the next question, I give them $10,000. Let me see how many people respond to that now. Wow. Interesting. I'm not even getting a heart. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to improve. I'm definitely going to have to improve on that one. Wow. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, you know what? That's healthy feedback as well, because that just lets me know that I have to really work even harder on my delivery, on my messaging. Because if I only got one person to respond on that, then maybe I need to change my delivery. Cool, cool, cool. I love that. But back to you all. Speakers speak. Knowing who you are as an individual. Knowing who you are as a man or a woman. Knowing as far as on what you want. And knowing that you are worth it. That's big right there. That's real big. That's real big. Knowing that you have an obligation and a responsibility to fulfill that purpose, to do the work that you've been sent to do. Doesn't matter what field, what industry, niche, don't care what product or service that you have, doesn't matter. But knowing that it's bigger and deeper than that, and knowing that, you know what, I'm going to close out strong, because visibility is very important. And knowing that I have gifts and talents, and I have something to say that is of value, that people want, and they are willing to pay handsomely. The key is doing it correctly, using the right strategies, and building those relationships. And being sincere. That's very, very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and close it with this, because I think that you guys have gotten a point. Oh, okay. I'm starting to see the messages now. Okay. I thought you guys were asleep for a moment. I really thought you guys were asleep. So I definitely apologize for that. I'm definitely seeing the messages. But let me go ahead and close it with this, guys. Christmas holidays among us. 2024, for some of us, will be a year of just absolute incredible heights, record-breaking months, abundance in relationships, abundance in finances, abundance in health, fill in the blank. Then there'll be some that will be in the same position, working at the same 9-to-5 job that they can't stand, being around the same people that they can't stand, doing the things in which that they don't want to do, but it's our necessity or survival. And then there'll be some that, quite frankly, will say, you know what? What's the use, right? 2024 is going to be the same way like it's always been. 2023, 2022, 2021, who knows, right? Hey, if it's for me, it's for me, right? That sort of thing. The question I pose for each and every single last one of you that's listening to the sound of my voice, that's on live and even on replay. Internally, what does that look like for you? What is the script, life script, the messaging, the mental rehearsal that's being played in your subconscious mind right now? You don't have to answer that question on the live or the replay. I want you to really ask yourself this evening, if you'd like to go a little bit more a step further than that, and you really want to discuss that, reach out to me. Send me a message. And let's have a one-on-one conversation on that. And let's really unpack that. Because I just believe, as being the founder of Transformation Greatness, my brand is really all about motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the masses. And if I can do that for at least one person, then you know what? It's truly worth me doing this. It's worth me spending the time as of right now and really conveying this message to you all. It would be worth the time that I would connect with you over the phone. And I'm not talking about just saying on Messenger and all that other stuff. No. Right? Either by phone or by Zoom. Then it'll be all worth it. I want you guys to really dig in deep and ask yourself that question. And I think that's pretty much the end of the message. This has been a very, I would say, deep message. And I just believe that the right person will resonate and connect with this. Because I truly believe that this is not for everybody, but this is only for those that truly resonates with this and can really truly connect with this. And I just believe that. So until then, family, this completes another episode from Transformation Greatness along with the Small Business Network podcast. For all those that's looking as far as for radio or TV opportunities, and you're saying, hey, I love this, man. I would love to have the opportunity to share my story, my message, my brand, my calling. And I always want to know what does having a TV show really looks like. By all means, please feel free to reach out to me. If you say, you know what, hey, I would love to even be a guest as far as on your podcast, because I believe exactly on what you're saying. And I just need for more people. I need to get around more eyeballs, right? Because people need to know of who I am and what I bring to the table. By all means, please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast. And if you're interested in anything else in which that I have to offer, or you just like to go ahead and connect, by all means, do the same thing. Please feel free to reach out to me. Those that have my personal number, you can go ahead and give me a shout out or a text. And let's go ahead and make it happen. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, if what I stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, may God be the glory, and I take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all amazing. I appreciate each and every single last one of you, for all those that commented, for all those that took the time out just to really, be interactive with me and engage with me. I definitely appreciate that. And until the next episode, peace and love, family. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good night, everyone.